Thanks for hitting the rewind button with us. I'm Dal Kelsey. I'm here with Dan Fowler. And tonight, Dan, we're doing something really special. We're going back to Halloween 1994. Are you excited?
Oh, I can't wait, Dal. This is so... Just take me back in all the best kind of ways.
It's Halloween! It's Halloween. We got it. No need to bludgeon us with it. It scares me.
Halloween thrills continue with Animaniacs next on Fox Kids.
In all the best kind of ways. Well,
Halloween in our childhoods. 1994 was primo time for both of us.
Peak childhood. You turned 10 that year, right?
Yeah.
So you were right at the cusp of the preteen years. Still interested in all the fun cartoons and other things that were going on at the time.
Yeah. It might be a little sad to some because once I even hit third grade, that's when kids start looking at you like, you still play with toys? You still buy action figures?
Right.
You still watch cartoons? You're a baby.
You like those Power Rangers?
We live in the South, Dal. Power Rangers were the devil. We weren't supposed to play with those.
Oh, but that's okay. We still did.
Now it's time for the Pizza Head Show.
Hey everyone, I'm done trick-or-treating and now I'm gonna go for a pizza party at Pizza Hut. Yay!
Not yet, Pizza Head. There's one more place to go.
I don't think anyone's home.
Sure there is.
Hello, trick-or-treat! Interesting hieroglyphics on this pizza.
Quick, Pizza Head, let's go upstairs.
Hey, who is here anyway?
It's your host, Count Steve.
Oh, nice place. You got it. I wanna go to Pizza Hut now!
The Count will be happy to give you a lift.
Hey, put me down! Put me down!
See you next time.
Halloween 1994 took place on a rainy Monday night, and since we were going to spend the night inside, I was able to find some old TV guides from Halloween 1994 over on the Internet Archive. So I found the ones from the week before, which was the actual Halloween episode for the week of October 22nd, that had a bunch of interesting articles in it, and the one from for Halloween itself that took place over those dates, which was all about kids programming. So both of our wheelhouses in one.
It's always bothered me sometimes the way programming will schedule some Halloween episodes where they fall. Like, I always hate it when they do it like a little too early.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's especially when it's on a day so close to Halloween. It's like, why didn't you just do it like on Halloween or the day before Halloween? Why always does it have to be a week before or 2 weeks before Halloween? But then, as you grow up, you realize like, oh, well, they know people are probably going to be out trick-or-treating, celebrating, not watching TV. So, of course, they want to get the highest ratings they can and play it on the night when they know people are going to be home doing nothing.
And, having worked in TV, it probably falls into what they've sold so far in terms of sponsorship. So Coca-Cola wants to be the sponsor for the Halloween episode, or it was probably McDonald's, actually. They seem to sponsor every Halloween special ever.
Oh, yeah.
So if they had already committed to October 13th, then October 13th is when it's going to air. But I agree with you. I mean, I remember when The Simpsons for several years did the Tree Houses of Horror after Halloween. It would always be the week after Halloween for several years.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was so weird how they did that. And not that it stopped me from enjoying it. I mean, I still love it, and you just get a copy of it, rewatch it on Halloween, the next Halloween. But yeah, that was always weird too. I forgot about that.
Facts, the who, the when, the where, you get the fun, the best of times, and we will take you there. The one, there's nothing like us, take a look inside. We're the one and only TV Guide.
TV guides, were they a big thing for you when you were growing up?
Yes, they were a big thing in my household growing up. It was the weekly little square magazine that you would buy from the grocery store that would tell you everything that's going to come on for the week, with a few additional articles about what it is that's coming on over the week, some behind-the-scenes information, critics telling you what to cheer or jeer. You were just asking me if they still sell them. They do still sell them. They sell them in magazine size now, like full-blown magazine size, and my current household subscribes to them, so we do get them in the mail weekly, so they're still around.
Okay. Yeah, I just never see them on the end caps of the supermarkets anymore, like you were saying, which is where I used to always look for them to see what was on the cover. Very seldomly did we actually buy a TV guide. We subscribed to the newspaper, and the newspaper would print out something called the TV Spotlight that would be in the Sunday edition, and it was very similar. It had articles, recommendations, reviews, and it also had the primetime lineup for not all of the channels, but the main channels. So kind of like your your local, and then the basic cable. And I would always go through and plan my week's worth of entertainment. Never had cable, but I would always look to see what was playing and think, if I had that channel, I would watch this.
Oh, I'm the same way. I didn't grow up with cable either, unless you went over to like a friend's house who had it. But yeah, looking at the lineup that we're taking a big focus on here is putting a spotlight on for 1994 around Halloween. If I had cable, I would probably never left the house because there was a lot of good programming on, but there was still its fair share on basic TV. But man, it's like I'm sure you remember as well as I do. TV back in the day, like there were only maybe like 2 chunks of hours in the day where it was anything good, and then after that, you were just stuck with either nothing but infomercials. Yep. Or reruns of shows that you probably just have no interest in watching.
Infomercials, soap operas, newscasts. There was a whole lot of blah. But around Halloween time, networks in the 90s did it big, especially Fox.
Greetings, kiddies. We kick off our Halloween celebration with the sci-fi spooktacular Alien Nation Dark Horizon. Plus later, some twisted fun from your favorite Fox stars at Universal Studios Florida. So stay tuned.
1994 was the third year of something they would do in October, the week of Halloween, called Fox's Halloween Bash. And this year was really special because Elvira was supposed to be the host.
It's that gal in the flesh, and not much else, Elvira. And welcome to the Fox Coors Light Halloween Bash.
Supposed to be, but let's be honest. When we go back and look at the footage, the bumpers and the commercials that was promoting the Halloween Bash around this time, it was really kind of an ensemble of rotating personalities and talents that were on shows that Fox was putting on at the time. Like, yes, Elvira was there for some of it, promoting contests you could enter to win Universal Monster VHSs or something back in grocery stores.
Look for me wherever you buy Coors Light and find out how you can win classic horror films. Click or treat.
Yeah, I think studio tours of Universal Studios too. There were several little things she was pitching, and she was there because of the partnership with Coors Light.
Oh, hi. Elvira here, finding great horror movies for the Coors Light Flick or Treat giveaway. Huh? We're giving away 50,000 videos, like the giant Gila monster, the wasp woman, or the brain that wouldn't die. Don't just stand there. Look for me this Halloween in a shocking display of specially marked Coors packages with film clips inside that tell you if you won. The Coors Light Flick or Treat giveaway. It'll be a scream.
So they mentioned that every time that they were a sponsor of Halloween Bash. And then, like you mentioned, the cast of Party of Five, George Carlin from The George Carlin Show.
Hi, George Carlin here, Universal Studios Florida, where they create all kinds of movie magic. This is the fly chamber. Didn't work for me. My fly's still stuck. Look at this guy. Wonder what he's screaming about. Maybe he can't find his hat. Amazing stuff, isn't it? You really got to hand it to him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And a couple of the cast members from Married with Children were all flown down to Universal Studios to film themselves in scary situations. That
the Jaws ride, the King Kong ride, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Coming up soon, more mayhem from your favorite Fox stars at Universal Studios Florida. As the Fox Halloween Bash continues.
I think that was actually before Halloween Horror Nights was a thing, or at least what it became a couple of years later.
See, that's where you're going to have to tell me more about that, because I still, sadly, to this day, had never been to Universal Studios.
Hello, kiddies. Crypt Keeper here, master of ceremonies at Universal Studios. All new Halloween Horror Nights with new haunted houses to die for. You'll make some new fiends, play a starring role in a killer show, and lots more.
One of these days, Dan, we'll take a road trip down there. I just went to Halloween Horror Nights most recently last Halloween, and it's a fun thing. It's like you've been to Scarowinds where they transform
Been to Scarowinds,
the
yeah. We've been to Scarowinds.
Yep. You and I have been there. That's just up the road from us in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's kind of the same thing. They shut down the park, and they've got scare zones set up for different horror movies, and they have different haunted houses, primo effects, and primo outfits, and they just do a really good job with the production value.
But see, it sucks now, though, because I can't help but think I missed it when it was at its best. Like, I cannot ride the Jaws ride. I cannot see the giant King Kong knocking over whatever it was on that one particular ride. I cannot ride the Back to the Future ride or do the Terminator ride. It's like, I think it's all themed after like Harry Potter and Marvel superheroes and Jurassic Park now. It's like, I will never be able to go down there and watch Beetlejuice jam out with the Universal monsters while the Ghostbusters are after him anymore. It's like, that's...
Now you can go beyond the realm of any movie into the future of live entertainment, where every adventure you've seen on the screen happens to you. This is no ordinary theme park. It's a real working motion picture and television studio, and you're the star. Come to the only place on earth where everything that happens in the movies happens to you.
I hate that I missed out on all of it. It still blows my mind. I have never been to Universal Studios, but I have been to Disney World once, and I still to this day cannot for the life of me remember why I did not go to the Haunted Mansion or the elevator ride, the Tower of Terror, I think it's called, where you go up and they drop you.
Enter the all-new Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. Rising to the occasion of our 25th birthday, it's now twice the fright it was before, thanks to a hair-raising new double drop. Travel to the height of fright in a haunted freight elevator for a gut-wrenching, faster-than-gravity freefall. Then rocket back to the top of the shaft and do it again.
I mean, I was into horror movies. I would have been thrilled to go on those. For some stupid reason, I don't know why I didn't do those rides. Maybe they were shut down, but I don't remember.
Yeah, Haunted Mansion was always a favorite of mine. When I was, even the last time I went to Disney World, took my wife down for her first visit there. Haunted Mansion's still a lot of fun to go through. But you mentioned not being able to experience King Kong. You still can experience King Kong. There is a Kong ride that does feature in the finale of the ride the old animatronic from the old King Kong ride.
Oh, so it's still around.
It's still around. It's not the same ride that it was in the 90s with the cable car and Kong like reaching in and shaking the car and stuff.
Okay.
But there is a Kong ride based on the most recent movies, and you do get to see that giant animatronic at the end.
So there's still hope.
There's still hope.
King Kong lives on the Universal Studios tour, and this time he wins.
But as for this Halloween in 1994, it's still in full swing, and you see it in the bumpers and promos with the actors from the Fox shows down there promoting that their Halloween specials are coming up. So just kind of pregame into what was the Halloween weekend for 1994. You and I thought we'd just do like a brief little summary of what was going on Monday through Friday of October 24th to the 28th of 1994. Do you want to start with what was going on?
So my interest really peaked on October 25th. That was a Tuesday, and Disney Halloween was on the Disney Channel.
When goblins play in Ghoul Show and dancing ghosts giggle and glow. You're a ghost. Silly old witches laugh in delight. Kids dress in costume to trick or treat through the night. It's time to tune in to a Disney Halloween.
Again, I never had the Disney Channel growing up until I was late in my teens and past my Disney Channel watching years. I guess I still went back and watched things on there like the Alvin and the Chipmunks, and they had the X-Men, and I watched that series from beginning to end on there later on. But Disney Halloween was always a favorite of mine when I think it came on ABC a couple times when I was really little, and then I would rent the VHS, and they've repurposed clips from old movies and cartoons and thing to kind of tell a little Halloween story. And I can't for the life of me remember the meat and bones of it now, but I would still go in and pick it up off the shelf if there was a VHS and put it in for us right now and just watch it again. One of those things that just kind of mindless nostalgia and just makes you happy.
No, I totally get that. I get that. This is totally a nostalgia trip for me going through these TV listings for this week. You started with Tuesday. On Tuesday, I see that Home Improvement was in season 4, episode 6. They had their Halloween episode, but it's one of those real annoying episodes where it was only Halloween for like the opening segment. It wasn't Halloween through and through. I hate Halloween episodes where Halloween is over either before the show even starts or halfway through, and it's like, oh, is all the aftermath after Halloween night. Those kind of episodes I think suck. It was also all week on the Sci-Fi Channel was a Bela Lugosi week. Right. So they were doing, I guess, I didn't dig too much into this. I think they were doing tributes or playing vampire movies in tribute to Bela Lugosi, who was the original Universal Dracula. Also, the Wednesday, Gary Larson's Tales from the Far Side. I don't think a lot of people remember or know that the Far Side comic strip did have 2 animated shorts that were like 20, 22 minutes apiece.
2 specials, yeah.
Yeah, 2 specials. And this was the first special that they aired in 1994. And it was on CBS, and it was basically just like about 10 different vignettes, Far Side comic strips pulled together.
Right.
I enjoyed them. There's not really any story. It's just like reading the comic strips. Like the vignettes are just are very self-contained.
Yep.
There's not a lot going on, not too heavy in plot, but there's a sight gag in every one of them, and it's great for like a little bit of a dark chuckle because there's some dark humor in them. But I would definitely encourage anyone to see those.
Next, you're in for a big surprise, and you're in for a shock when the Queen of Fright
I'm Beaver Cleaver.
has her big night. Roseanne's all-new Halloween special.
Now, you said that you did or did not grow up with Roseanne, because Roseanne also had a Halloween episode this same week.
I was never a fan of the Roseanne show. Still am not a fan of the show, but I've gone back and watched a few of the Halloween episodes just because later I learned how big of a production they made Halloween episodes with the parties that Roseanne would throw and the costumes they would wear and just the spooky ambience that they would pull off in the shows. I couldn't tell you who I know who the characters
roughly are.
Couldn't tell you any of their storylines or any of that other than, John Goodman as Dan.
I'm the same way. I didn't watch it. It's like I know Roseanne's the mom. I know John Goodman's the dad. I know they have some kids, and I think a sister helping out, that kind of stuff. But yeah, so she had a Halloween episode that was new for that year. It was drag queens having a costume party in a diner. That was my understanding.
Thursday, it's a night of chills and thrills as Fox's Halloween Bash continues.
Fox was also having like a double feature or a double scare fest of a rerun of Martin from their first season. Episode 10, that was a rerun of them telling ghost stories and having a seance. But they did have a new episode of Living Single where they were trying to prank each other and trying to figure out if somebody was cheating or not. That was their Living Single's second season, episode 8.
Get into the Halloween spirit.
Hey, Martin, you dressing up? You know, I was going to go as your mother, but my hair's too long.
On the scariest Martin ever. Then, you're invited to a wild Halloween party.
Opie, look, it's Cher.
And it's going to be a scream.
This is the last time I let you go to the costume store without me.
Living Single. It's all part of Fox's Halloween Bash. Thursday, starting at 8/7 Central.
I kind of watched those, but not really. I didn't religiously commit to seeing those, but I would see them in passing when watching other shows. Were you the same way?
I was the same way. I would watch Martin if like the opening, like the cold open, like grabbed my attention. I thought the characters were funny with Shanae and the others. Really enjoyed those characters and some of the scenarios. Living Single, not really one that I ever really made it past the cold open. Not sure why, just never caught my interest. I think the opening song was kind of fun, and then that was about it for me.
But things did pick up Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
Lock the doors. Bolt the windows. This Friday, Fox TV's most shocking show comes to prime time with a 1-hour Halloween special. Who could ask for anything more?
That's where
Friday night was a great kickoff to the Halloween weekend. For one, well, let's just start on the lighter side of things. So TGIF. ABC, and that was 2 hours of like Full House and Dinosaurs and Family Matters and Step by Step and all these shows. Like it was a frequent 2 hours that would just kind of rotate shows in and out that were still in production at that time.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch would come out a few years later that had some good Halloween episodes.
But what was really cool about this TGIF was we had 2 Halloween episodes. One was Family Matters and the other was Step by Step. Now, out of the two, I'm a huge Family Matters fan. That's, to me, is my favorite sitcom of all time is Family Matters, and I love their Halloween episodes. But this was one of my least favorite Halloween episodes.
If I remember correctly, this was the period piece vampire show where they go back in time, or there was some kind of time jump.
They're just telling stories.
Okay,
that's what it is. It comes down to they're just telling a scary story that allows the cast to be vampires in like some medieval time setting or something. Okay. But that's why I didn't like it. I like it when the characters are actually in a real place, experiencing real Halloween kind of fun sort of stuff. Just like, but even when in the later seasons when Steve Urkel is having the nightmares of the Stevel dummy coming alive and trying to kill him, it's like, I still like that, because even if it's only a nightmare sequence for him, it still all takes place on Halloween. So it's still like Halloween decorations, people in costumes, candy and all that good stuff. So that to me is still enjoyable. But this episode, I got to put it down there with the Halloween episode where Steve Urkel tries to save a bank robbery.
That was, I think, the first Halloween episode that they have where it's Halloween night and him and Laura kind of face off with the bank robbers, right?
Yeah, that's the same episode. So that to me it's like it takes place in Halloween, which is cool, but I just didn't like how the whole episode was just this hostage situation in a bank, and that made it like not so Halloween-y anymore. But luckily, even though that wasn't one of my favorites, the step-by-step episode, which came before or right after Family Matters, that episode was a really, really good one. So in this episode, I think it's called The Wild Ones.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a really fun episode because the whole house gets decorated for Halloween. If they throw Halloween parties, everybody's dressed up in costumes. There's all these memorable scenes. You got guests coming in, acting like Beavis and Butthead. Suzanne Summers looking really hot as a cave girl.
That is a great costume. Thanks. There you go.
This episode has Michelle Williams being like a wild girl that tricks or peer pressures the middle-aged son into like going around egging houses, and he gets busted by the cops.
Yeah, he got arrested, didn't he?
Yeah.
Check this out. I'm gonna take these eggs down the street and have some real fun. I presume we're not making Denver omelets for the neighbors? But not unless they want to scrape them off their front door. Come on, let's go.
It was all a lesson about what to do, not to do, about peer pressure and things you shouldn't do in Halloween. But it was a really good episode. And one of the cooler things was, so every one of these sitcoms at the time had their little goofball mascot. And if you remember, Step by Step had Cody.
Hey, you guys! Killer news. You're not going to believe this. I'm getting in the Guinness Book of World Records. I have created a freak of nature.
So did your mother.
God, you're such a kidder.
Who was Patrick Duffy's nephew. And
Sasha Mitchell, I think was his name?
Yeah, Sasha Mitchell. So he was living out of a van in the backyard, and he would always be involved in some crazy stuff. And for this episode, he had grown like the world's biggest pumpkin or something. And his mission was to carve this pumpkin using explosives. So then when he blows it up, it perfectly carves out like this giant face into it for a jack-o'-lantern. And it was just so much fun. It was so cool. And then, as you know, if you skipped over to Fox at that same time Friday night, Fox was playing a double feature of
Tales from the Crypt, followed by The X-Files.
Tales from the Crypt. Then, some say it's an ancient legend.
Each victim was ripped to shreds.
But Friday,
Oh my God.
the legend returns to kill. The X-Files after Tales from the Crypt, part of Fox's Halloween Bash. Friday.
Yeah, they had just purchased, I guess, several episodes from HBO to kind of edit down a little bit and air on Fox late night.
Tales from the Crypt, Friday at 8/7 Central. Parental discretion advised.
Now that's entertainment.
Did you see either of these episodes?
I have seen them. I didn't watch them or I don't recall watching them at the time. I think at the time, 8-year-old me would have chosen, I definitely remember watching the Family Matters and Step by Step. I may have flipped over and watched the X-Files because that was around the time when I became an X-Files fan. If I remember correctly, they were investigating kind of a Native American vampire myth in that one.
So after the double feature of Tales from the Crypt, they played an episode, it was a rerun of the X-Files that they just, I guess, thought fit the Halloween theme, and it was called Shapes.
Yeah.
And it was all about them going after basically a Native American werewolf or skinwalker.
Shapeshifter, yeah.
Shapeshifter.
Some kind of creature, yeah.
For centuries, Indians have believed in a creature that was half man, half wolf.
Each victim was ripped to shreds.
Friday,
Oh my God.
the legend returns.
So I didn't watch the episode, mainly because, one, it didn't take place in Halloween, two, it was just a rerun.
It's one of the Monster of the Week X-Files episodes, which were a lot of times my favorites. But the X-Files was one of those shows where pretty much every episode could have been a little mini horror movie.
But it's one of those episodes you don't have to necessarily know what's going on with all the UFO stuff
Correct,
to enjoy. It's kind of its own self-contained Monster of the Week episode, like I said.
Wasn't a mythology episode where you had to know any of the 17 other plot things that were going on in those other ones.
Don't miss the X-Files Friday at 9, 8 Central.
Something else maybe you know what this is. I don't. So as we go into the weekend, starting with Saturday, I noticed that in the TV listings, they kept listing something on MTV called Halloween. Do you have any idea what this is?
I don't know. Let's look it up right now.
I tried to look it up. I couldn't find any video. Now what I'm guessing is MTV, Pauly Shore used to be a TV DJ for MTV back in the day, but I think once he blew up big and had his own Pauly Shore show on MTV and was hitting it as a big star in the movies, I don't think he would have still been doing that kind of stuff in 1994 for MTV. So I'm not sure if this is a rerun or this was something that he was doing actively as a representative for MTV for Halloween that year.
I don't.
But I can't find any information on it.
Yeah, Google is no help here.
So yeah, if you look at the TV Guide from 1994 and look at the listings for MTV over Halloween weekend, it lists Paul-O-Ween
several times,
but I have no idea what they're talking about. There's no description. It just says Paul-O-Ween.
It was an hour-long show every time. Maybe there was a VJ or VM. What do they call those?
Yeah, VJ. That's what he was.
Okay, VJ. Let's see. Was there someone named Paul in 1994? Downtown Julie Brown, Bill Bellamy, Tabitha Soren, Simon Rex, Adam Curry, Martha Quinn, Ray Cokes. Not seeing anybody named Paul, so I don't know. I'm still at a loss.
So if anybody has any information on Paul-O-Ween, we'd be interested in hearing more about that.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you remember that special on MTV. I think for us to also not having cable, and I think MTV was one of those frowned upon networks where, you shouldn't watch that anyway, kids.
Well, I'll tell you what's not a mystery, and that is what we enjoyed on Saturday mornings, especially in this Halloween weekend.
That's right, Dan. And you and I will plan out a whole weekend's worth of TV watching in the next episode of The Rewind Button.
Can't wait.
Stay tuned, and thank you all for listening. Happy Halloween. Be much more spooky stuff to come.